DC Squad, Super Friends, lend me your ears. For today, I will be reviewing the Mezco 1/12 Collective Justice League Aquaman action figure. Based on previously released promo images, there's been quite a lot of buzz about this action figure. And I'm here to find out whether this Jason Momoa mini-me is going to live up to all the hype or be a wet behind the ears letdown. Let's find out together, and you can judge for yourself. So for starters, here's the packaging. Pretty attractive looking, although for Aquaman, I'm not sure why they went with a mountain and some sky rather than some sort of undersea scape. Moving along, the top of the box has the Mezco 1/12 Collective logo shiny over top of a matte cardboard, kind of an interesting design. Both sides of the box have this exact same display motif with the logo, Aquaman, and then Mezco toys. And then the back of the box has an image of the figure, the accessories, and then some of the promo images that would have first appeared online. A guy like me could only hope that my action figure photography skills are someday as good as this. Sliding the figure out of the sleeve, here's what we get. Sides, top, back, bottom. And notice, 18 and up. So don't buy these for your kids because it'll just end up broken and in pieces on the floor. And now let's take him out of the box. Good thing everything looks packaged together nice and tight so that when the courier hoofs it down the hallway, it doesn't get damaged. And here's what you get. You get the bag, the base, the quintet, Nope, hold on. Let's try that part again. You get the bag, the base, the grabby arm, the mother box, the quintet, 3 sets of extra hands, and the action figure itself. Okay, so we're off to a good start because this is a pretty good spread. Let's have a look at everything just a little closer. Starting with Aquaman's trident, or a quindent. Well, it'd technically be a quindent because there's 5 points. You get my point, no pun intended. It looks fabulous, and it's the best one I've seen offered so far for a Jason Momoa Justice League Aquaman movie figure. It's been wonderfully painted in a shiny metallic silverish platinum paint, complete with shading where it needs to be, battle dings along each of the fork points, and movie accuracy out the wazoo, and looks absolutely every bit the weapon of an Atlantean king. As for those extra hands, he's got a swimming pair, a trident grabbing pair, and then an open-fingered pair for action poses. They all look sculpted well, and the paint details match appropriately, and it's nice and clean. No real paint slop to speak of. Very good. And then we come to the Atlantean guarded mother box, and seeing it makes me wonder why they didn't include the Amazonian guarded one with Wonder Woman. Either way, the painting and the sculpting look pretty movie accurate for me. I'm not exactly a mother box snob, so I can't complain that much. And then you've got your Mezco 1/12 Collective action figure stand with the Justice League logo on the bottom. What can I say? These are always made well. Arm, grabby claw, they never mess this up. And then of course you've got the bag for putting in all the extra parts that you're not currently using. Like that. And now we come to the figure. And I'm not gonna lie, I really like all the detail work they've done with this figure, looking close at it. I'm not exactly sure how photorealistic this is going to be to the movie, but it's good enough for me. It absolutely gives me damn Aquaman Justice League feels. Aquaman's battle armor looks altogether weathered, kingly, and ancient. His armor is made up of the plating over top of the fabric, and I'm really liking how they did this. You can't even tell the transitions between fabric and plating at some points. It all comes together for a pretty seamless look. Good job, Mezco. As for the quality of the head sculpt and whether or not it does a good job portraying Jason Momoa's portrayal of Aquaman, I think it does alright. It's not perfect, but it definitely doesn't miss the mark either. It manages to capture his eyebrows pretty well with that scar that runs through them, his beard looks shaggy enough, and he has that kind of cheeky no-nonsense look in his eyes. Like I said, good enough for me. Now, let's talk articulation. Aquaman's head is on a ball joint with a fairly good range of motion. The hair does get in the way a little bit, not as far as the front's concerned, but it's when you get to the back and you're trying to make him look up for, say, swimming poses, you're not going to be able to because that hair is going to get in the way. He's also got hinged swivel shoulders. However, a lot of the fabric and the armor specifically gets in the way of a lot of that range of movement. He's got bicep swivels, double jointed elbows, but again, the armor does get in the way of some of that crunching. Ball hinge wrists, as you would expect from a Mezco figure. I'm sure that he does have articulation underneath there somewhere for the abs, except for the armor gets in the way, so don't expect for him to be doing any kind of crunching anytime soon. However, there is a little bit of waist movement, and his groin is on 2 ball joints. The fabric gets in the way, it hangs down just a little bit, but they are on ball joints. He's got swivel up here at the top of the leg, he's got double jointed knees, and again, the armor does get in the way of some of it, but they crunch up pretty good. And then finally his ankles are on ball joints, and there's quite a bit of range of movement there. However, it is limited. This is, I guess his foot just came off. That's a thing. Hold on. Let's try that again. His ankles are on ball joints, and there is quite a bit of movement there. However, it is limited because of the armor, and a lot of people really just don't like the ankle articulation on a Mezco because they feel that it doesn't grant them enough posability. And now it's time for everyone's favorite moment of the video. Let's make a comparison! Yeah! To the far left, we have the DC Comics Multiverse Jason Momoa without shirt and scrawny arms. It's based on his appearance in the Batman v Superman movie, which he was only in for like 10 seconds. And next we have the Bad Halloween costume cosplay version of Jason Momoa from the Batman v Superman movie. It's also by Mattel. And to the other side, on the far right, we have the Mattel Multiverse Justice League movie Aquaman. He kinda looks like an old man Viking more than Aquaman as far as I'm concerned. As you can see, the Mezco one is not only slightly bigger than the rest of them, but also a huge step up in action figure quality. Every detail of this figure is light years above the rest of them. Yep, that was a belch. What's that you say? One comparison's not enough? Well, here he is compared to some other beardly Aquaman figures. The left, it's the DC Universe Classic Scale Aquaman, and on the right, that's a DC Direct. It's the brightest day. They've both had their heads swapped. They didn't start off beardly, but I fixed that. And finally, here he is alongside some of his less beardly incarnations. To the far left, it's the first release DC Icons. And then we have the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Multiverse 3-pack Aquaman. And to the far right, we have the Total Heroes Aquaman. And of course this comparison wouldn't be complete until I bring out the other Mezco Justice League figures, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. I don't know about you, but I'm actually pretty happy that Mezco is bringing the league together. So I suppose after covering articulation, accessories, details, sculpt, posability, it's time to give my final thoughts on this figure. As someone who has a fairly sizable handful of DC Mezco figures, this one is definitely one that I'm very happy to have. I know that some people may feel like this figure took a dip in posability because of how clunky the armor is, but for someone like me, that's not going to be a big deal. This figure has high quality manufacturing, excellent paint, wonderful sculpt, and a pretty good likeness to Jason Momoa. We've also got the added value of the extra hands, the mother box, and his quindent. As far as I'm concerned, this action figure gets a 9 out of 10, would buy again. Docking only one mark because I know that some people are going to be really annoyed with the missing torso articulation. To be fair, Mafex does have an Aquaman figure coming out soon too, and it does have articulation underneath the chest. So it seems to me that Mezco probably could have included that point of articulation too. But like I said, for me, that's not a big deal. I feel like the $80 retail I paid for this figure was fair market value. I don't expect my action figures to be cheap, and I know that this is a high-end figure, and I probably would have waited to pick him up just a few weeks, but I picked him up for the channel early so that I could give you guys a preview so that you would know whether or not you want to buy him. So, what's it gonna be? Do you like this figure? Do you think it's worth the money? Or do you feel like it's just a great big drowned out waste of time? Let me know down in the comment section below because I'd like to hear from you. Also, the backdrop for this review was provided by Instaprint Diorama. If you like what you see, head on over to their Kickstarter to get this and 4 other awesome home printable diorama options for yourself. I myself am a backer and think this is an excellent option for those looking for cost-effective options for their action figure photography backgrounds. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, or a helpful waste of time, please take the time to bop the like button so that I know I'm doing something right for you. And then finally, if you think you'd like to become a super friend and join the DC squad, remember to hit the subscribe button and ding the bell so that you hopefully don't miss a video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have an awesome day, super friends. Take care.